What should we call this?
What should we call this?
We're trying something new.
Yeah.
It's Kat and Deb, 2 Mark girls, FYI.
Yeah, still us.
Catching you up. We had a podcast. It is still on hiatus. But
we don't know till when.
Yes. But we felt like we kind of missed
just conversations?
That opportunity to talk. We don't talk to each other when the camera's off.
No.
So we really
and hardly when the camera's on.
So we thought, wow, we need to create a series, otherwise we won't talk to each other.
Yeah. But no, I miss kind of talking about like the vegan news and like just like kind
food
of
stuff.
Yeah, food stuff. Because like the podcast was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd do these every once in a while on the channel where it's more video podcasty.
So for our first episode,
we're
talking about TikTok.
Do you remember if we do a full episode on TikTok? I don't think we ever actually talked about TikTok on the podcast because we've ended it a while.
No, I think we did.
We did?
Yeah, and I think we talked about TikTok food trends and stuff on the podcast.
Oh, I think we talked about, because this was like not early on in TikTok. I think we were a little late to TikTok, but like a couple of years ago
that we talked about it.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. I think so.
And I think we were talking about it just feels like it's taking the soul away from food.
Yes.
I think that's what our conclusion was.
Yes.
But I also think a lot of things on TikTok have changed.
Oh, for sure.
Should we actually talk about our treats?
Oh yeah, what are we treating on today?
Yeah, so part of this is also just, we'll have like something to drink, maybe something to eat. In today's episode, we're at Devon's, so we're in Toronto.
Yes.
It's from Bad Attitude and Miss Pippa's and Brockton Hot.
Oh yeah.
I have a matcha from Brockton Hot. You have a
iced coffee.
Iced coffee from Miss Pippa's. And then we picked up some Bad Attitude treats from Miss Pippa's. They just opened up. Bad Attitude just opened up 2 months ago.
Has it already
less
been
than
2 months?
They opened in April.
Well, whenever this video goes out, they opened in.
They opened in April.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know if this is a butter tart, but a tart of some kind in a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
Which looks great. So we have little treats to eat. Here, you want the plate?
Wow, thank you.
While we chat about TikTok.
So yeah, what are your TikTok thoughts?
I think TikTok as a whole hasn't changed for the better, but food-wise, I think it's changed for the better. I'm liking it more and more because I feel like, I don't know if you agree with this,
okay,
but TikTok to me has felt like it's, or at least the creators on it, have really pivoted to, once they've like, it's not about hacks and like, it's not like cheapy content anymore where it's like, I'm just doing this to get viral. I mean, everybody's on there just to get viral, but it feels like there's like personality back into the food pieces and like stories back into the food pieces, and like that's kind of what's been performing.
It's so hard to say because everyone's seeing a different version of TikTok.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one thing that is so difficult because like when you talk about what's trending on TikTok, you could have seen a video that got 1 million likes and I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, I find that too. I'll be like, that TikTok sound? And I'll say the sound and they'll be like, no, I've never heard that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hear it every like 3 seconds.
Really good cookie.
Yeah.
The flavor's really nice.
Yes. So I don't know if we just aren't getting served the more hack content. Like, remember when there was that trend of people making really obnoxious, like, dips just on their counter?
Yeah. I think that's still happening. But I think, luckily, I'm not getting served it
That's
as
like
much
clickbait
anymore.
stuff.
Yeah. But I also think, speaking of that, I've seen more and more people calling that out on TikTok, which, like, maybe that's why we're seeing a little less of it. But, yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it's become less gimmicky and become actually about, like, again, we're just talking about the food space on TikTok. But it feels like it's actually become about the food again, or the person creating the food, which is so nice.
Are there, like, certain creators that you feel are doing that, or is it just, like, general, you find a lot of it?
I feel like one person, I think, is it Justine Snacks or Eats? What's her name?
I think it's Snacks.
Snacks, yeah. I feel like she's doing it more and more. I really like her content, where, like, it's largely about the food, but there's always kind of a story aspect to it. Like, there was a recent one where she's trying to recreate a chocolate chip cookie from this bakery.
Yeah. And,
like, she's talking about her attempts to do it. She talks about her past attempt and that she posted it, but it was the worst recipe she's ever made. Like, all this stuff. Like, it feels like there's actually soul back in the food. It's not just like, here's a cookie, bye. There's human element back to it.
You know what is so interesting about that format that I didn't really realize until now? That is basically taking that chunk of text before a recipe that everyone complains about and saying it as you're making the recipe.
It's 100% that. This is the thing, and I think people like, I saw that again recently where somebody, so ChatGPT is like a big thing right now where people are doing ChatGPT recipes.
Should we do a
I think we should.
recipe? I think we should.
I think we have to. But a lot of actually people are actually saying they're pretty good, surprisingly. But I'm not surprised because it's pulling from people's blogs and stuff that's been on the internet. And, like, it looks up chocolate chip cookie recipes, and it's an AI that can generate and see the ratio of certain things. Like, it's math. It makes sense why it would work because there are a lot of good recipes out there. But I saw somebody's comment basically being like, oh, this is so great, and it doesn't have that block of text before, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I'm like, and it keeps popping up. But I think it's such a small group, a small and loud group of people that actually don't like it. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of people who maybe think they don't like it, but, like, human element is part of what makes food good.
They just don't like reading it when they're trying to make the recipe.
Yeah, when they're just looking for a recipe quickly, that's when the thing. But, like, tell me the last time you presented somebody with food and just told them about the food. They're like, yeah, this is so good because these two flavors meld well together. No, it's like, oh, I tried this somewhere, you know, I had this experience, or my mom used to make this for me when I was a kid. Like, food's always been about people and the connections and the experiences around it.
Yeah, that's why we have, like, so many TV shows about that.
Right? Like, there's hardly any shows, there's hardly any visual media that is just, here is food. It's always paired with some kind of a story.
I think it's just the difference when people go to look for a recipe. They're in the mindset, like, I'm only here because I need to make something. I'm not really in a space to absorb a story.
Exactly,
Which is fair.
Yeah.
But it's like, how do we make space for both those things?
Yes. And there is space for both those things. I know this is a different topic.
Totally.
There is space for those things. It's called the jump to recipe button.
That
true. Space exists now.
Yes.
Okay, but back to TikTok.
Yes.
Where I'm thinking, like, I think seeing these things, and again, it could just be our feeds, but I'm seeing more and more of it, and I think it's because people do miss that human element. Because it's not just about the food.
Mm-hmm. It's never just been about the food.
Exactly. Food is, like, such a big part of people's culture, and, like, it's people's identity, that, like, you can't take away the human element from food without it just feeling sad. Like, if someone presented me with a dish on TikTok, like 2 videos of pretty much the same recipe, but somebody talked about how this is a childhood favorite, their grandma used to make it all the time, like every Sunday, or somebody was like, here's a chocolate chip cookie recipe, I'd be more inclined to try the one that somebody said was a childhood favorite. And maybe it's a subconscious thing, or maybe I'm, like, because I think story is important, I lean towards that. But, like, I don't know, I just think story is what also helps sell food.
Oh, it sells everything.
Right?
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Is it?
I would call this a butter tart or like a pecan tart. I don't even know if there's pecans in it. It's raisins. It's gotta be a butter tart.
Oh, yeah. The flavor kind of, like, punches me in the face.
Right? It's weird because my TikTok feed, I still gravitate more towards Instagram Reels. Because I get served more of the things that I want to see. I still think TikTok, while I'm being served more of what I want to see, there's still a lot of shit on there.
This is something I saw, I think it was this week, but someone commenting about how sensitive the algorithm is to pulling you into a silo.
Right?
You watch 5 seconds of Taylor Swift, and that's all you're gonna see.
Right? Okay. I am on Taylor Swift. I don't even, I like Taylor Swift. I would never go to a concert of hers. I appreciate a song of hers, but I wouldn't call myself a Taylor Swift fan. And all I'm seeing is this fucking Taylor Swift yelling at a security guard.
And it's like, sometimes I do want to watch, like, one Taylor Swift clip, but I don't want my entire feed to be
right? That's I think TikTok's biggest flaw is that the algorithm is so sensitive to where, like, and even if, like, there's a few food videos that I skip because I'm not interested in that food, all of a sudden my feed's not food anymore.
I know.
And I'm like, I just didn't want those ones.
And then you spend time, like, you're scrolling trying to fix your algorithm, right? And it's like,
yeah, it gets really frustrating, which is why I gravitate more towards IG Reels, because I get so much of what I want, and accidentally lingering on a video a little too long, or doing a one-off video where I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see why Taylor Swift yelled at a security guard. Won't fuck up my whole feed.
Yeah.
I'm using TikTok less and less, even though I'm seeing more content that I like, because the feed is still just so, like, I'm like, I don't care about this.
But the other interesting thing about TikTok creators and how they think about their content sometimes is that they know when there's an opportunity to get, like, multiple videos out of one thing.
Yeah, that is a skill I do not have.
That is like, they'll show you how they make the recipe, and then it'll be a separate video of them eating the recipe, or they'll show you walking through the store, and then it'll be a separate video of the haul from the store.
This is the thing I think is the biggest difference between people who maybe grew up or are used to the TikTok or the YouTube way of content creation versus the TikTok way of content creation. Because I've noticed this, and obviously it's not just a generational thing of what you grew up with or what you're used to, because you're seeing tons of people on TikTok do this. Yeah. But, like, it is a skill to be able... Because, like, I go into TikTok, and I'm like, this isn't a video, this is nothing. Because, like, we're used to putting it all in one video on YouTube, when ours could probably be split into 4 different videos. Yeah. And I'm like, that's so dumb. But it works, and it's people watch it. And, like, it's not dumb, but in my head, I'm just like, why would anybody watch this little snippet just to have to watch another bit and then another bit? But, like, my brain just doesn't work that way of breaking it up like that.
Yeah. It's a skill that they practice, but it's such an interesting trend to notice.
Right? Let me know if you agree with this thought. When I watch short form video, like, an hour's worth, if I'm sitting on the couch for an hour scrolling through TikTok, or I'm sitting on the couch and I watch an hour of an episode of something, I feel so much worse watching TikTok.
Yeah.
Because it just feels like I got nothing out of it.
Yeah, okay, it's something, is this what people are talking about, like, when you open TikTok to try to get, like, a dopamine hit? Because that's what you're trying to get something that feels like something.
You're just doing something.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't get that, so you end up feeling empty, but you're, like, addicted to trying to find it.
Yeah. But, like, it's so weird, because, like, theoretically, when I think about it, it's like, if I'm doing the same thing, either way, whether I'm watching an episode of a TV show, or I'm watching a YouTube video, or I'm watching TikTok. But TikTok feels so much emptier.
Most of the time. Like, sometimes when your algorithm is good.
When it's in a good place.
When it's good.
You don't want to leave that app.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like, oh, that's a really cool idea. I could go try that. And you start kind of get, like, ideas. Yeah. But that is happening less and less.
I feel like this whole conversation is very evident that TikTok, we have this weird love-hate relationship with TikTok. Yeah. Like, it can be such a fun space to be, but when you see the other side of it and how scary it can be, you remember why there's so much concern around it. TikTok.
Do you have TikTok thoughts?
Stick to the food side of TikTok.
And crafts are really fun on
Cara
TikTok.
Joy? Yeah. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Oh, I see her claim that all the time.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's the one person who never escapes my feed.
Yes. Crafts, thrifting. Yeah. Is really fun.
That's what I mean. Like, when content is like that and it's wholesome and, like, not even wholesome, I don't care what the content is, but, like, when it's, I don't know, when it's just about you and what you're doing as an activity or empowering yourself or whatever it is, go wild. I don't care.
That's nice. We need that.
Yeah, but I'm done with the age
There's a lot of darkness.
Yeah. I can't. So that was, yes.
I was going to say in the comments, suggest other topics.
Yeah, and tell us if you like this format. Yeah. I think we'll keep doing it regardless, because conversations are fun.
And we filmed so far ahead that we might probably have already made more by the time
this is like a September video that we're filming in,
It's May. It's May. So actually, let's just add that caveat to a lot of our videos. We see your comments, and then it takes us a few weeks to course correct because we're so far ahead.
We're about, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks ahead at all times.
So we're not. That's why there's a lag.
Yeah, we're in this mode of, like, trying to film as ahead as possible so we can take more breaks. So yeah, if you see, you're like, oh, I said this comment, but they're still doing the same thing. We heard you. It's just gonna take us a couple months till you see the changes. Okay, but yeah, let us know if you like this video, this format. We're gonna do more regardless because we won't hear your feedback for a few months.
Yeah, but, it's an experiment, kind of.
Yeah, a little gap, because we've had a few people say they missed the podcast. Yeah. So just, like, to fill in that gap a little bit. Well, bye. Like, subscribe, comment. Is that it?
Share. Get off of TikTok.
Get off of TikTok. Well, take a break.
We're going to be posting this in 15-second videos on TikTok.
Onto the whole It's going to be, like, 300 parts.
I cannot.